All right. Hello again, Avengers, and welcome to another exciting daily vlog. This is daily vlog number 293. And today, still fucked up. Like, massively. I have not been in a depressive funk this bad in a while. And it's messing with my anxiety as well, and it just fucking sucks. Oh man. I am so sick of the world right now. Not just because of the depression and everything, but that is a major part of it, but everything is just so fucking negative right now. Like, everyone, everywhere, is just incredibly negative. Like, really good example, because I've been meaning to make a video about this for a little while. Here's a game, came out on the PS5. I think it was available other places too. I'm going to check. I don't think it was a PlayStation exclusive. But it was created by... yes, PS5 and Windows. It's a game called Concord. It's created by Sony themselves through because they own a studio called Firewalk Studios, and launched on August 23rd. I think. What was it? Yeah, launched on August 23rd. Servers were shut down on September 6th. So it lasted for 2 weeks, and everyone that purchased it was given a refund. And it apparently cost over $400 million to make. So now the reasons why it failed are numerous, and I'm not going to go into the particulars of why, because it becomes a very, very hot to the topic very, very quickly. But suffice it to say that in addition to it just being overall a lackluster game, like, it wasn't, gameplay-wise, it wasn't a horrible game. It wasn't that it didn't work. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just, it worked. But there was nothing that was really impressive about it. And then it also got massively involved in the culture war, which I made a video earlier to talk about the fact that there has been a massive, massive, massive backlash against anything that can be even perceived as woke because of certain activist groups that were aligned with those ideas that used really dishonest and unethical tactics to get what they wanted, and then somebody called their bluff. And so now there's this huge, huge backlash against everything involved in that, which is what happens when bullies get into positions of power. They kind of pollute everything that they touch. So anyway, when servers were shut down, when 2 weeks after it launched, all the pundits that were shitting on the game, with a lot of their points being pretty accurate. Like I said, the reason that this game did poorly was not like, if anyone tries to tell you that, oh, it was just the far right and they were reviewed. No, the game was not good. The gameplay itself was mediocre, but not insulting. Everything else about the game was just done poorly. The writing was poorly done. The character designs were uninspired and boring. Everything about the game was subpar. And again, any one of those things being attached to a game will not kill a game. There are a lot of games that have subpar aspects to them. Literally everything about the game was mediocre. And then on to top of that, it attached itself to a really, really divisive ideology. And then when they got pushback for all the mediocrity, instead of going, yeah, this was mediocre, their response was just to go, well, if you don't like it, don't play it, because we don't like bigots. And if anybody has been watching literally anything in the past decade, a fantastic way to make sure your entertainment property fails is to say, if you don't like it, don't play it, don't buy it, don't watch it, because people will do that. So anyway, that's not what I'm talking about here. It was actually all of the pundits that were talking about it were talking about it like, ha, Concord has failed, it's screwed, they deserved all this because it's horrible. And it seems like nobody actually read the press release. The reason that they gave refunds out, the reasons that they shut down the servers, was that the game was mediocre. And they were going to fix it. They said it in the original press release where they said, hey, anyone that's got it, you can get a refund. We're shutting servers down, everything. They said in that initial thing, we're going to take it offline to come up with a better plan for how to implement blah, blah. It was all corpo speak, but it's stuff that I've seen before in a lot of different situations. Something launches poorly. You can try to fix it live, or you can take it down, fix it, and then put it back. Fixing it live really only works if the problems you have are relatively minor. Generally, it tends to be a better idea to take the product down, fix it, put it back up. So all of these people's like, oh, it's dead, it's gone, Sony just wasted $400 million, the stupid assholes, blah, 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 blah. All this insane negativity. And then, like a week or so ago, they announced, by the way, we're just about done revamping Concord. We're going to have something, we're going to be relaunching it soon. I don't know when, because I haven't been following it that closely. And there were just video after video from all these pundits going, wait, Concord's coming back? How could that be? We thought it was dead, that we would never hear of it again. And they were so intent to shit on this thing that they didn't like. And they were so proud of themselves that their bullying tactics had worked. And they were dancing on this corpse that they didn't actually read what happened. And now there are all these people that are like, how could they be doing this? It doesn't make sense. It makes perfect sense. They spent $400 million on it. You don't give people money back for a $400 million failure. What they would have done, if it was just going to be, yeah, we're fucking done with this, they wouldn't have given refunds. They would have required people to take them to court in order to get it, because it would have cost them less money than giving refunds to everybody that purchased the game. It's a monumentally stupid idea for them to just go, no, if they were planning on just abandoning it, they would have left it out, maybe discounted it so they could make some passive income off of it, because there were people that enjoyed the game. It was like 5 people, but there were people that enjoyed the game, and if they left it going long enough, they probably could have recouped some of that investment. So the mere idea that this game was dead and gone for, and they just pissed away $400,000, was so moronically stupid and short-sighted. Especially since, again, in the initial press release, they said, yeah, we're going to take it down to revamp it. And everybody just completely missed that, and they were just going their little happy dance of, oh, we won, our bullying tactics won. Despite the fact that we hate when they use bullying tactics, we got to use bullying tactics, and we won. It's so fucking stupid. When I saw the trailer for Concord, because it was at the PlayStation Directs, I don't know, in the spring, I actually thought, to be fair, I thought it was cool until I learned that it was damn it, what's the Blizzard shooter one that I can't remember its damn name? Overwatch. Until I learned that it was Overwatch, and I don't like Overwatch. Not that I think the property itself is bad or dumb or anything. No, I just don't like competitive team shooters. It's not my gameplay. It's not something that I enjoy doing. I played Overwatch a little bit. I ran an Overwatch tournament once, which was really fun. And one day, when I'm feeling really good about myself, I will tell you guys the absolute clusterfuck that Overwatch tournament was. Because it deals with some people that are pretty highly regarded in certain circles that I wander around in. And the interactions that I had with them were not good in any way, shape, or form. They were very, very negative. I've never spoken about it because I don't want to tarnish people's reputation that I've literally only had a few interactions with, but it left such a bad taste in my mouth that those particular people I do not interact with in any way, shape, or form, and I used to be massive fans of them. But anyway, that's a story for another day. So I thought the idea behind it was kind of interesting, and then it came out that it's Overwatch, but not. I was like, oh, this is dumb, and then it did turn into dumb. But yeah, I mean, it just upsets me so much that these people were so thrilled that the people that they didn't like got fucked over, that they were completely incapable of seeing, well, no, they're just trying to revamp it so that they can make money off it. Really good example. In the mid to late 80s or maybe early 80s, Safeway and a bunch of other big employers paid a bunch of psychologists to come up with a test that they could give applicants that they could use to screen out bad applicants. Basically, they were looking for a test that could kind of show through psychology which people were going to be a better fit for the company and which people were not, because staffing is one of the most expensive parts of any business, and hiring the wrong people costs you tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost revenue, in unemployment insurance claims, and everything. It is by far one of your biggest expenses when you are dealing with a company. So they paid these psychologists to come up with a test that would help them to figure out good employees versus bad employees. And the end result of that test is what we now know as the Myers-Briggs Personality Type Index, or MBTI. And I know a lot of people that have taken Myers-Briggs Personality Type tests. And when you take it, it will give you a 4-letter code that is supposed to refer to, I'm going to go Myers-Briggs Personality Types. So they give you these they give you these 4-letter designations of what your personality type, and each one of those 4-letter designations has a different name as well. So if you are INTJ, you are the architect, or if you are ENTJ, you are the commander, or if you are ENFP, you are the campaigner. So yeah, there's a grand total of 16 of these different personality types. I know a lot of people, this is annoying me. Sorry, I had the edge of my mic just at the top of my screen, and it annoys me when it does that. I know a lot of people that put a huge amount of weight into these personality types. They go, oh, I'm an advocate, and so I do this and this and this. Anyone that's actually studied real psychology will tell you right now, the Myers-Briggs personality types are completely pointless. They're not accurate in any way, shape, or form. You can, if you take the test in the morning and then take the test again, the exact same test at night, you will have different personality types. If you take it when you're hungry, you will have a different personality type than when you take it when you are full. And probably the most important, depending on when or why you are taking it, it will change your personality type. So if you're taking it for a job interview, you will get a different personality type than if you're taking it for fun, or if you're taking it as part of a government test or something like that. And the reason why is the personality type index doesn't, people don't actually answer it based on what they actually feel. People answer it based on what answer they think will give them the results that they want. And there's literally zero way to control for that. It's impossible to control for it. They've been trying, again, this came out in the 80s. They have been trying for 40 years to find ways to control for that bias. It's not possible. And the most hilarious part about the Myers-Briggs Personality Type Index, which, again, it was created for businesses to use as a screening tool to find good employees versus bad employees for your particular business. Do you want to know how accurate it is in predicting a good employee or versus a bad employee? Coin flip, which for anyone that doesn't study statistics, the absolute lowest accuracy you can have is a 50-50, because that means that it is a truly random it is a truly random thing. Like 0% accurate isn't technically a thing in statistics. Your low point of accuracy is 50-50, because that means it's just a truly random thing. So it is completely worthless for the intended purpose. As far as describing what kind of person you are, it's almost as accurate as your Harry Potter house, or your Hogwarts house, which again is not a thing. There's no psychology behind it. It's just a thing that was made up for a fiction series, and that's what Myers-Briggs is. It's a completely made up bit of pseudoscience. However, anyone that has applied for an entry-level job in the past, I want to say 20 years, has had to fill out a version of the Myers-Briggs personality type. It probably was not presented as that, but part of most applications or most intake processes for large corporations is they will have you take a test where you get all of these statements and you have to either strongly disagree, neutral, agree, or strongly agree. That's the Myers-Briggs personality type analysis. So if you have ever taken a test like that, congratulations. One of your businesses probably has somewhere recorded your personality type when you took that test. Now again, it's a completely made up thing. Doesn't work. But 40 years later, they are still using it. It's completely worthless. There's nothing about it that is useful to anyone in business, and it is still being used. You want to know why? Because they spent, I think it was like $50 or $80 million on that research in the 80s. You adjust it for inflation. I can't remember the 80s. 80 million adjusted for inflation. And let me see. I want to start year. Let's go 1980. So 80 million in the 80s is worth about 300 million today. So yeah, they spent the equivalent of $300 million on this, which when we compare it to what they spend on Concorde, still less. You don't throw away that kind of money. You just don't. You find a way to get something for it. Like I said, companies are still using it today because they paid a shit ton of money for it. It's the only reason. And it is widely used. Most online applications, once you get to a certain point, will have you fill it out. I remember when I was in management, I actually had a friend of mine that was looking for a job. That I know them, I knew them relatively well. I knew that they were a good worker. I also knew I could train them to sell really well. So I'm like, hey, it's fine. Go ahead and fill out the thing. Uh, because they answered a few things in a way that made them appear introverted, which the MBTI, if I remember correctly, it's either MBTI or the Big Five personality types. I learned there's a lot of different personality typing things. MBTI is the one that most people are familiar with. There's quite a few other ones. One that's also used quite often is the Big Five personality types. But they're weighted very heavily towards extroversion good, introversion bad. And so, in the particular test that we used at the company I worked for, if you answered too many questions that made you appear introverted, we wouldn't be able to hire you, because we would get, after you filled out the test, you would get a color code. Green, we could hire you. Yellow, we had to get specific permission from our HR department in order to hire you, and they never gave permission. In red, there was nothing you could do. You were there was nothing anyone could do. You were unhireable. They wouldn't tell us exactly what caused any of those things to trigger, but I knew, again, from schooling and understanding psychology, I knew about the personality typing and stuff like that, and I was able to find out, yeah, it's introversion. They didn't like introversion. And again, it's just because that's how the test is written, where all of the words associated with introversion have negative connotations and all of the words associated with extroversion have positive connotations. It's just how it works. So anyway, getting back to Concord and negative people being stupid. I was not particularly happy about Concord getting quote unquote shut down. But I wasn't particularly sad about it either, because again, the press release said, hey, we're going to take this off, we're going to try and fix it. Their second launch, they're not going to do this again. After the second launch, there are going to be no refunds. Even if it is a complete dog shit game, there will be no refunds. And they will run the servers long enough to recoup a portion of their investment. Because you don't spend $400 million and then just take the product that you made, even if it's a shit product. People will buy shit products. That's why infomercials exist. People will buy really, really shit products. And you can make money off of really, really shit products. No business in the world is just going to spend that amount of money and then just throw it away and go, oopsies. No. They're going to find a way to make money off of it. Can't tell you how, but they will. And there is a distinct possibility that, I've said this many, many times before, success is a really horrible teacher. Success convinces you that you're good at things that you're not, and makes you ignore the problems that you do have. Failure, however, is a fantastic teacher. And so if any of the people over at Firewalk or whatever it's called, Firewatch, I think, I don't know, involves fire. Anyone out there has a brain in their head anywhere, a brain anywhere in their body, it might be in their ass. If they have a brain at all, they can use this to learn. Because again, it wasn't that the game was horrible, it was just incredibly mediocre and was attached to an ideology that a lot of people find offensive. Again, another great example, Harry Potter was or Hogwarts Legacy was attached to an ideology that many people find offensive, but it's a fun game. And so when you look at Concord and Harry Potter, they have very similar situations. The big difference was when Concord got criticism, they went on the offensive and started attacking the people criticizing them, and they had made a mediocre game. Harry Potter, when it got criticism, really didn't do anything. I don't remember the devs for Hogwarts Legacy really responding too much to the controversy, which went incredibly in their benefit. And it became, again, the best-selling game of the year. It broke Twitch streaming records with how many simultaneous people were watching it. It was a massive, massive success. So, yeah, the world sucks right now. People need to get their heads out of their asses and understand that just because you have a belief, even if it's an extremely strong belief, the absolute worst way to convince people that your belief is right is to bully them into agreeing with you. Because at that point, they're not actually agreeing with you. They're going, please shut up. I don't like feeling like this. They don't believe what you believe. They just don't like being abused. And eventually they will reach the point where the abuse is too much and they'll just go, please kindly go fuck yourself. Or unkindly go fuck yourself. That's what's happening in the world right now. It sucks. But maybe this will teach people. We see this in tabletop RPGs all the time, where especially Pathfinder bros will sit there and just shit on D&D constantly and think that that's a way to get people interested in Pathfinder. It's not. You want to get people interested in Pathfinder, you want to take people that are playing D&D 5th edition, get them interested in either Pathfinder 1st or 2nd edition, or Starfinder, or anything like that. What you do is go, oh, cool, yeah, I've played D&D. These are the things I like. What do you like about it? Like these things. Well, have you ever tried Pathfinder? The things that you described, it actually does a little bit different than D&D. And if that's what you like, you may find that you really enjoy this. You don't attack what they already like and hope that, well, if I convince them that it's really stupid, they'll have no choice but to play my game. Nope, they just don't. They just won't play with you. Anyway, it's all for me today. I'm going to try and not feel like shit for a while. See if it works. See you guys in the next time. All right? Bye-bye.